Traveled with a friend through Thailand and got myself a pretty severe case of food poisoning. Someday we wanted to take the ferry to Koh Phangan and took the bus down there, which was an 8-hour ride. I slept on the way down, not knowing what was yet to come. Woke up because I shat myself. Not hard, just a bit. So I went down to the bus toilet to look how much I failed. The loo was literally just a hole in the bus. I had to puke so hard I shat myself again. Later I found out it was such high velocity puking I ripped my esophagus, when I began puking blood while being on said ferry. I really thought that'd be the end of me and I'm going to die in the middle of nowhere without a phone. Almost passed out if it wasn't for my friend. Stayed the rest of the ferry trip on the toilet where I puked so hard I constantly couldn't control my sphincter. Had to stay 3 days in the hospital. Funny thing is I considered not buying a travel insurance at the beginning, but I did in the end. Cost me €17 and saved me a €3,000 hospital bill. Nice. 'Twas a nice trip though. Damn, that's rough. I did 2 months in Thailand and got food poisoning the last week there. Definitely threw up and shat, but nothing like that. It was the worst food poisoning I've ever had though. The entire night I was feverish and felt like I was hallucinating. I felt like I was maliciously trapped in my hotel room and wouldn't be allowed to ever leave. It really fucked with my head all night, so I got maybe 20 minutes of sleep altogether. Legitimately felt like I was losing my mind. Never knew food poisoning could do that, but goddamn, that was vicious. How have I shit myself as an adult? Let me count the ways. Once I leaned too far forward to take the parking brake off in my truck, shit myself, waddled into a gas station and cut my underwear off with a pocket knife, left them in the trash can. At work in my office, was taking a pee and trusted a fart I shouldn't have. Cut my underwear off in the stall and just walked straight out of work to my vehicle and left. It was not the best day to wear grey pants. Driving down the interstate, couldn't make it to the exit. Started shitting myself, so I pulled over and made a run to the tree line and finished my shit while holding onto a tree. Had to cut my underwear off and use them as toilet paper because in my haste I didn't grab napkins. Went camping once. At 3 AM I was awoken by my body actively trying to shit itself. Climbed out of the sleeping bag, ran to the closest tree while shitting myself. Cut my underwear up to use as toilet paper because as I ran away, I didn't grab any. Walked back to camp naked, only wearing socks. It was 16 degrees. Moral of the story, kids, always carry a pocket knife because you never know when you'll have to cut your underwear off at a gas station. Had just left a girl's place after a night out, was about 6 AM. Got in the car, started driving and was about 15 minutes from home. I shat myself uncontrollably about 5 minutes into the trip. It was like wearing a warm doughy slush pit. When I got home I ripped into the driveway, jumped out of the car and onto the grass, whipped my pants down and hosed my ass off. Anyone awake that early would have had a great show with their morning coffee. I went to take a shit and forgot to pull my pants down. I just sat down on the toilet and shit my pants. Perfectly healthy, just distracted. Boxers kept it contained, I realized right away, so it was easy clean up, dropped them in the trash and went commando the rest of the day. My pants stank, but at the time, I was working a job where it was okay to stink. Maybe not adult but young adult, late teen, 17. The events that lead up to that moment are important. 1. I was cutting weight for a wrestling tournament, cutting a lot of weight so my stomach was not the happiest organ on this day. 2. I had gotten the flu the day before and was having some problems throughout the day. 3. For some reason my school had white singlets that we wore in the finals. Now that the stage is set, I made the finals and the wrestling began. I was killing it. I was up 8-0 with about 30 seconds left. I had wrestled terrible all day, but now I was hitting my stride. My opponent takes a high crotch, an attempt to grab my leg. But instead he uppercuts me in the crotch. I feel the liquid hell begin to seep. I can't just run off, I would lose. I'm trapped in this poo singlet for another 25 seconds, the longest 25 seconds of my life to that point. My parents just start laughing, everyone is laughing. The black streak that has begun to spread down my backside is becoming more and more defined. It spreads like the plague. Time expires, I sprint to shake hands, Before the ref even touches me, I raise my own hand and sprint to the showers. I wash off in scalding hot water. My dad comes into the locker trying not to laugh as he asks if I'm alright. I am not. I don't know how I went back out in front of that crowd, the crowd that just watched me make Black Duke Nukems in my white singlet. Some friends and family still bring it up to this day. Went to Caesar's Pizza with the fam. My buddy and I go to Party City halfway through eating and get fart pills and other cheap pranks. Cue to me taking said pills. No problems eating, we head out and on the 30-minute drive home. Farting non-stop. My mom is easygoing but she made me hang my butt out the window. Safety first, we finally get home. My body doesn't back down to the challenge of making as many stinky farts as it possibly can before quitting. So I think it's super funny to run around my friend in the computer chair, farting. Yo, antagonize him, we are just having a good time, laughs all around. So I save up for maybe 2 minutes to get a nice one for him. I decide to run up beside his face, pull my boxers down, spread my cheeks, and unleash the balloon factory that are my insides. The fuck up, my farts had been dry all night, no question about it. But something evil and soupy happened in that 2 minutes, and I gave him a nice little butt sneeze right on the lower half of his face. Froze, turned around to look, and ran straight to the shower. Yeah, we don't talk anymore. I'm sorry, Michael. I got a parasite called Cryptosporidium because I ate a guy's ass and he wasn't clean. Ended up shitting myself and spending 5 days in the hospital. Had to come out to my parents because the doctor said most people who are hospitalized by this parasite are HIV-positive gay men. Turns out I just have a really weak immune system. I went to smoke hookah with my friend one night and had basically, heavily, sharted myself. Hookah usually makes my head hurt, but the place we go to packs the bowl real damn well, plus I love the feeling that hookah gives you. Anyway, one day instead of making my head hurt, it makes me want to shit myself. So I rushed to the men's bathroom, and no toilet paper. I went to the women's bathroom, but I could not destroy it in out of good consciousness. So I returned to the men's bathroom and I got lucky that at least the seat was left up and there is no evidence of piss on it, dry or otherwise. I sit my ass down and unleash hell onto the toilet. The kind of hell that shit sprayed on the backside of the toilet bowl and some on the water tank. The kind of shit you need to wear gloves for due to the chemicals you'll need to use. As I am done shitting, it dawns upon me that I did not grab the toilet paper from the women's bathroom. At this point I am contemplating whether I should call my friend to get it and lose my dignity in the process. I say fuck that shit, I'ma use my underwear to wipe. Well, I had those $35 a pair of Under Armour briefs on, so the stingy bastard in me said nah, use the socks. The socks I used. So I get both socks off, I put my hand into one of them and wholeheartedly wipe my ass with my sock, while my hand is still in it. I then retrieve my shit-soaked sock from the depth of my ass crack, covered in shits type shit. I use my left index and middle finger inside the sock and take it off like they taught me in biology class so many years ago. The second sock was used to store the shit-covered sock. The socks were then placed in my pant pocket, and later thrown into the dumpster outside, to which I sneakily walked out to through the back door. Dignity maintained.